Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in this video we are going to learn how to share Google Form responses with attachments via Gmail. So here I've created a Google Form where I'm receiving the responses with the file attachments. So in this case I want whenever a new form is submitted, automatically that response should be shared via Gmail to my team lead with attachments. So to automate this process, we will use an automation software named as Pabbly Connect, in which we need to connect a trigger and an action. So in this process, our trigger application will be Google Forms and an action application will be Gmail. So to learn this process step by step, let me take you to my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video, we are going to learn how to send your Google Forms response to Gmail with attachments. So to automate this process, we will use an automation software named as Pabbly Connect. This is the homepage of Pabbly Connect. You can visit this page by simply browsing for the URL pabbly.com/connect. Here you can see two options, that are sign in and sign up free. If you are a new user, click on sign up free and get free 100 tasks every month to explore the software. And if you're an existing user, click on sign in. Here I'm an existing user, so I'm clicking on sign in. After signing in, you can see all Pabbly apps window where you can see all the applications of Pabbly. Here to connect my applications, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect. This is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. You can see a create workflow button on the top right corner. Here to create a new workflow, I'm going to click on this button. In this create workflow dialog box, we have to give a name to our workflow. Here I'm giving the name as share Google Forms responses with attachments via Gmail. And now I'm going to select my folder as automations. You can select your folder as per your need. Also, you can create multiple folders to save your workflows accordingly. Now to create a new workflow, I'm going to click on this create button. Here in this workflow window, you can see two most important principles of an automation process, that are trigger and action. Where trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means action is a response towards our trigger. Your automation can have a single trigger but multiple action steps. Now let's start our automation by simply setting up our trigger. Here I'm going to select my trigger application as Google Forms and my trigger event as new response received. And here you can see we have received a webhook URL. That means we will use this webhook URL to connect our Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. Now following the instructions given below, here I have already created a Google Form with the name Nature Photography. And here I have taken some fields such as name, email, phone number and a photograph field where I have selected the option as file upload. Here you have to keep in mind that the form's last field should be a required field. Now after building the form, moving to responses, here I am going to click on this link to sheets. And here I'm going to select create a new spreadsheet. Now I'm going to click on this create. And here we have connected our Google Form response with Google Sheets. Now to connect our Pabbly Connect with Google Sheet, here I'm going to click on this extensions. And from here I'm going to click on add-ons. And here I'm going to click on this get add-ons. Here you have to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. Here I have already installed Pabbly Connect webhooks. If you haven't installed, you have to install before building a connection. Now after installing Pabbly Connect webhooks, here you have to click on extensions again. And here you can see Pabbly Connect webhooks option. Here you have to click on this initial setup. And here in initial setup, you can see it is asking for webhook URL. So moving back to Pabbly, here I'm going to copy this webhook URL. After copying, moving back to Google Sheets, here I'm going to paste the webhook URL. After entering the webhook URL, it is asking for trigger column. So for the trigger column, it says the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent to webhook URL. Basically, here we have to enter the last data column. So for this, here our last data column is E. So here I'm going to enter E. And now I'm going to click on the submit. Here you can see setup configured successfully. Now after initial setup, you have to click on extensions again, and from here again go to Pabbly Connect webhooks, and from here we have to click on send on events. That's a necessary step to receive the response in our Pabbly Connect. Now moving back to our Google Form, here I'm going to copy the link and open in the new tab. Here I'm going to do a dummy submission. Here I'm going to enter the name as demo user, email as dummy@pabblytools.com and a random phone number and a random photograph. Here I have already downloaded an image. So here you can see we have successfully inserted an image, and now I'm going to click on the submit and our response is captured. Moving back to Google Sheet, here you can see we have successfully received the response. Now moving back to Pabbly, here you can see we have successfully received the response. So with this, we have successfully set up our trigger. Now moving to our action step, here I'm going to select my action application as text formatter by Pabbly and my action event as split text. So here I'm using my action event as split text text because I want to split the file ID from the response I've received in my Google form. You can use text formatter by Pabbly for basic formatting, extract pattern, find in text, replace text, split text, text parser, truncate, URL encode and decode, and many more. And now I'm going to click on this connect. Moving forward, here it is asking me to select text to split. So instead of entering the data manually, here I will map the data. Mapping data means insert data from previous step. That means here we'll map the data from the response we have received in our Google Forms. So here I'm going to map the URL of the image. Moving forward, here it is asking for separator. So here I want separator should be equals to, because I want the text should be separated from the equals to sign. And here for the segment index, here I'm going to select last because I want text after this equal to sign should be separated. Now moving forward, here I'm going to click on the save and send test request. And here you can see we have successfully splitted the file ID. Now moving forward, here I'm going to add another action step. Here I'm going to select my another action application as Google Drive and my action event as get file or folder by ID. So here we have taken another action event as Google Drive because after creating a new Google form, automatically a folder is created in our drive to save the Google form response. Here you can see in my drive, automatically a folder has been created with the name nature photography file responses. So now moving back to Pabbly, here to connect my Google Drive account with Pabbly Connect, here I'm going to click on this connect. Here to build a new connection, I'm going to select add new connection. If your Google Drive account is already connected with Pabbly Connect, then you can click on select existing connection. And now I'm going to click on the sign in with Google. Here I'm going to select my account. And here I'm going to click on this allow as your data is secured with Pabbly. Now after building the connection, here it is asking for file or folder ID. So by using text formatter, we have already splitted the file ID. So here I'm going to map the data from the response I've received in my text formatter. So here I'm going to map the file ID. And now moving forward, here I'm going to click on save and send test request. And here you can see we have successfully received the response. Now moving to our last action step, here I'm going to add another action step. Here I'm going to select my action application as Gmail and my action event as send email. And now to connect my Gmail with Pabbly Connect, here I'm going to click on this connect. Again here to build a new connection, I'm going to select add new connection. If your Gmail account is already connected with Pabbly Connect, then you can click on select existing connection. And now I'm going to click on this connect with Gmail. Again here I'm going to select my account and here I'm going to click on this allow and give access to Pabbly as your data is secured with Pabbly. Now moving forward, here it is asking for recipient email address. So here I'm going to enter the address to whom I want to send the email. So here I've entered an email address. Now moving forward, here I don't want to enter any CC, BCC or sender name. So here I'm going to ignore these fields. Moving forward, for the email subject, here I'm going to enter a text that is new participation. After entering the email subject, moving forward, here it is asking for email content. So here I've entered a content which I want to send with my email. So it says this email is to notify you of a new submission for the nature photography form. And also it contains the participants' details such as name, email and phone number. So for these details, here I'm going to map the data. For the name, here I'm going to map the name from the response I've received in my Google form. Same for the email, here I'm going to search for email and the phone number. So here I've mapped name, email and phone number. Now moving forward, here I'm going to give the file name as photograph because I want all the files which are uploaded by participants should be sent with a common name, that is photograph. Moving forward, here it is asking for attachment. So here I'm going to attach the link that I have received in my Google Drive. Now here I'm going to click on save and send test request. So here you can see we have successfully received the response. So now let's go and check our email. And here in our email, you can see we have received a new email with the participants detail and the subject as new participation. Also, we have received the image with the name photograph that was uploaded by the participant. So this is the image. So with this, we have successfully set up our automation. Now let's test our automation to check whether it is working or not. So to test our automation, we need to submit a new response. And for that, let me take you back to the Google form. From here, we are going to submit a new response. Here I'm going to enter the name as dummy, email as dummy@pabblytuts.com and a random phone number, also a random image. So here I've added the image and now I'm going to click on the submit. So here we have successfully captured the response. So now let's go and check our email again. And here you can see we have received another email with the name dummy, email as dummy@pabblytuts.com and a phone number. And again the subject is new participation and a file attached with the name photograph again. Let me show you the photograph. This is the new photograph which we uploaded. So with this, we have successfully tested our automation. Now let me summarize this whole video for you. So here we have taken a trigger as Google Forms and an action application as Text Formatter by Pabbly, Google Drive and Gmail. So in this case, I want whenever a new form is submitted, automatically the response of that form should be sent to my team lead through Gmail with the attachments received in the Google form. So here I have used Text Formatter by Pabbly to split the folder ID, and I have used Google Drive so that the file received in our Google Forms should be uploaded in the Google Drive first. If you want to use the same workflow, then you can find the clone link. If you wish to use the same workflow, then you can find the clone link in the description box below. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Not only these applications, you can integrate many other applications with Pabbly Connect. If you have any doubt, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any query, you can contact us on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, then you can contact us on www.pabbly.com. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends.